Glad to have you back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Education Dialogue, brought to you by Edugist, proudly made possible by Skilled Integrated Services. And today, we are looking at effective educational supply strategy for schools because the school sessions are here again. So what does an effective educational supply strategy look like? Do you understand the concept? Have you done need assessment? How about what to prioritize? Collaboration and innovative approaches to bring forward engaging stakeholders like your parents. More questions, but to answer. And you know what? The good thing about the Education Dialogue is we bring a subject matter expert. Today on the Education Dialogue, we'll be looking at this topic from 4 different angles. But who is going to be my guest to answer this question and even more? When we come back, you will meet my guest.
Hello Lagos, join us every Thursday right here on Inspiration 92.3 FM from 3:30 to 4 p.m. for Education Dialogue by Edugist. On Education Dialogue, we bring together policymakers, education leaders, and parents to discuss issues, explore solutions, and drive positive change. With Edugist, education has a voice.
Glad to have you back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Education Dialogue, and today we are looking at effective educational supply strategy for schools because the school sessions are here again. And to discuss this is Mrs. Temilola Adepetun. I want to pause because a lot of people ask me. I had like 3 messages. School now said if they can come and pick their gift here. So it tells you that it's a subject matter expert. So she's the founder and the MD CEO of Skilled Integrated Services, formerly School Kids Limited. So a leading sourcing company for educational, lifestyle, and humanitarian aid supplies in Nigeria, with presence in 6 states of the country, serving over 500 companies. Very big stakeholder in the education sector. She's very passionate about learning and development and has been a facilitator for soft skills in entrepreneurship programs. Very long CV, but most importantly now she's advocating for women to lead business, especially successful business. I think you should check her ad online, especially her Monday content. Welcome to Education Dialogue, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Yes, we needed to do that because she's not only our guest, she's the founder of a company that is making this show to happen within this period. So we are looking at this topic from 4 different angle, from 4 prisons. So back to school season essentials, what it should be, value proposition for parents, schools, and students, then strategic partnership and quality assurance. Last but obviously not the least, beyond the basics. How do we support holistic student development? Because at the end of it all, this is why we are in education, the student. So my first question would be that as we approach the back to school season, what are the key supplies parents and schools should really prioritize?
As you well know, the company, we're a retail brand, a retail division, Skate Stores, was birthed 24 years ago, born out of the need of, creating a specialty school store where parents can go and buy school supplies for their children. Especially, most parents are either working or they're running their businesses and they don't have the time to go all over the place. So whether your child is starting nursery school, reception, we have everything for them. And secondary school, primary school, secondary school, and so on. And what do we have? On the first day at school, we all remember our first day at school. We were well kitted out in nice uniforms, smart looking uniforms. We were wearing socks and shoes and all of that. So it's getting good quality uniforms on the first hand. socks and shoes, all the footwear, even the shoes for sports, backpacks. If you look at the nursery, if you look at the smaller children, those going into nursery and reception, kindergarten, they want all these, character bags and lunch bags, and so they want to see their favorite characters, embossed on the bags that they are taking. So we have all of that. So we've done the whole variety of all school ages, from toddler, those who are not wearing uniforms yet, we don't have t-shirts for them, to primary school, to secondary school. Of course, the matured backpacks for the older ones. And then we have a lot of stationery. There's stationery, art supplies, calculators, so many things that, arts and crafts, so many school supplies. Everybody, you want to invest in it just as you pay school fees. The other investment is to kit your child, for school, and make sure that as they go to school, they walk in with that confidence. You are also sure that their shoes, your cardigan, blazers, whatever you bought, that they are good quality, they are going to last. It also gives the child confidence. And then, we support them in other ways throughout the school year in terms of projects and, also projects and other extracurricular activities that the schools have. We make sure that we provide, we have for sale everything that they need for those extracurricular activities. That's from the parent side. Now, from the school side, basically, as far back as 2005, we started supplying uniforms to schools. And schools will buy it from us on wholesale, and then they will resell it to their, so they will aggregate everything and sell it to the students, so that parents in those schools will just go to the school store in their schools, respective schools, and buy it. But we've also offered other services where some schools feel that, we don't want to get involved in buying uniforms wholesale. SKLD, skid stores, why don't you stock uniforms? We wear this color top, this color bottom, and this is what we want, this badge on it, up to sportswear. So some schools have that arrangement with us. We call them retail engaged schools. So what they do is we foot the bill of buying all those items and put it in our stores, and we have labeled the stores, our various stores in different ways, so that anybody from those schools will come in and buy. So that takes the stress off the schools as well. Then in recent years, we've looked at office equipment. There's no school that doesn't use printers and toners and all those consumables, flip charts, interactive boards and all that. So we have, having been in the ecosystem of the educational sector, we've expanded our product offerings, to make sure that our product offerings to the school owners is more robust and comprehensive.
Awesome, thank you. That's quite a lot, about 4 to 6 product line. But I know of a skid store in the airport because I move around a lot. But now, how has SKLD positioned itself to serve the entire ecosystem? So, case in point, my school is in Enugu or Calabar in Cross River. How do you reach nationwide?
Okay, we have on the retail level, we have 4 stores in Lagos, in different parts of Lagos, 2 on the mainland and 2 on the island. We have in Port Harcourt GRA, then we have 2 also in Abuja. We also have our e-commerce. We have our website where customers can buy. But when I spoke earlier about the schools that we supply uniforms, we supply over 500 schools nationwide.
Quite a number.
We have we have different marketing teams positioned in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, in Lagos, and in Ibadan that service the states around them. And by February, they start going to different states and we visit those schools. So you are saying Enugu, Benin, Kwara State, different states. We have Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, Ilorin, so on and so forth. So we sell to them on a wholesale basis, and some of them want customized uniforms. We customize their badges, we customize their ties, we provide this service so that they can differentiate themselves from the other schools in their vicinity.
Amazing. So, because we're going to look at this topic from four thematic areas, let's move to value proposition, parents, the schools, and the student. This is over 20 years, 24 to be precise, of doing this. How do you aggregate this value for the different sub-units, students, parents, and everybody involved?
For the parents and the students, of course, the parents would have to go by what the school requirements are, and then they communicate it to us. So over time, we have expanded our product offerings to include that. For instance, let's say during COVID, when during the lockdown, we had started selling tabs and we had started selling some laptops a bit. But when there was a lockdown and before the schools would be opened, that they were doing distance learning, remote learning, we had to stock up. We had to increase, the number of tabs, the variety, and all the electronic learning devices, and make sure we sell it to our customers. And we're able to sell it to them through, our dispatch, because we have our own dispatch as well. So that's what we've done, over time. And of course, these days, now that learning devices are now mostly electronic, digital, and all of that, we partnered with other companies.
Yes.
We partnered with a lot of OEMs.
Yes, sorry to cut you, ma. I was going to go there because we've looked at. I was trying for us to look at partnership from two different angles.
Okay.
So let's move into lean-end partnerships. There are partnerships with a lot of organizations, the OEMs. That's not one of the things you find in the past in the education space. For corporate, oil and gas is a big thing. But how have you been able to navigate and bring some of those partnerships into the education sector?
Well, for instance, because of track record and our retail footprint, for instance, when Casio calculators, when they were looking for a distributor for their calculators, they approached us, and so we became the official distributor for Casio calculators. And by the time we started, we realized that there were a lot of counterfeit in the market. After some time, in partnership with Casio has now developed a better calculator which will be differentiated, for Nigeria. They've differentiated it so that we are not all buying from the same market, so that they will know that, okay, this is the Nigerian one that we are also authorized to sell. Because before there were a lot of fake and counterfeit out there, and we've done a lot of training for maths teachers, especially in Lagos State, through our Casio partnership as well.
Awesome. So still on the partnership, I think the next question will be for schools that don't have the resources on ground, you want to buy something for X amount of money. Do you have the exact amount? I think the next question will be, how do we work around budgeting, schools on budget? Are there facilities they can access to get some of these things? These questions we will answer when we come back. The program has been Education Dialogue on Inspiration 92.3 FM. We will return after this.
Hello Lagos. Join us every Thursday right here on Inspiration 92.3 FM from 3:30 to 4 p.m. for Education Dialogue by Edugist. On Education Dialogue, we bring together policymakers, education leaders, and parents to discuss issues, explore solutions, and drive positive change. With Edugist, education has a voice.
Glad to have you back. The program has been Education Dialogue, reaching you from Inspiration 92.3 FM, and this is made possible by Skill Integrated Services. And today we have the honor of having the MD and founder live in person, not sending anybody right here in the studio. But like I said, this is made possible by Edugist. You can be part of this conversation online on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are Edugist. Edugist is a newsroom and innovation lab. We are the leading platform for latest news in education, for scholarship, opportunities, and cutting-edge interviews. Why not visit our website? And of course, follow us across our social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. The handle is Edugist. And we have been talking about effective educational strategy for school supplies. Before the break, my guest had talked about some collaboration, one with Casio. We want to go in depth. I think they have something with HP. There's something with Dell. I got to know about Canon camera that I can buy locally here because I attended one of their events. And then there is U-Lesson, so we probably want to take each of those.
Yes. Over time, we realized that, okay, we already have strong relationships with the schools, especially in terms of supplying uniforms. And then we looked at, okay, what are the other school requirements? Is there office equipment, learning devices and all that? So we started partnering with OEMs. Why did we partner with OEMs? To make sure that we get the best quality. We're not going to put our name on something that is not, that is not tops. So we started partnering with different companies over time, which are HP. We partner with them for provision of laptops, monitors, and printers to schools and corporate organizations. Then Dell and Lenovo, as we all know, they are the ones that have the laptops and monitors. And these days in secondary school, even in primary, in some primary schools, almost every child has to have a laptop. So we did that so that we can sell Canon provision of cameras and printers. And we're also, surprised to see that Epson, has been in printing for a long time. But Epson actually has a projector that is an interactive projector. Then there's a U-Lesson for U-Lesson produces tabs that has some curriculum on those tabs which children can use. And we also partner with Values Tech and Samsung, where we provide the big interactive learning screens that schools can use. Corporate organizations, especially those who train, use those as well. And we partner with all these companies so that we can have access and also have after sales service through that partnership. So whatever we sell, one, we are sure of the quality, two, we are sure of the after sales service. And so with that, we have further embedded ourselves into the education ecosystem and deepened our relationships with the different schools that we work with.
Awesome. My next question will be that most of this partnership, it's actually hardware. Are there other partnerships for software? By software, the content to go into this laptop. I know U-Lesson comes with content, but for schools that are shopping with SKLD and they want content partner, how do you work around that?
Well, those are things that we work with on case by case basis. Of course, there's the general curriculum for WIAC, for NECO, and for IGCSE, which are all the schools we service. So some, we've talked to one or two other companies that have some of the curriculum for that, or even past question papers. But it's on a case by case, and we are making sure that we are streamlining what we are doing so that we are sure that we are producing something that we can, vouch for, as it were. So that is going to be, developed more and more. Even, schools also need furniture. So we are partnered with some furniture companies and stationery. No matter how electronic we get, learning is, we still have to write and, arts and crafts, stationery, pens, pencils, crayons, all the coloring, the whole art supply. So we have stationery companies, we have chapters and M&G that we partner with as well in terms of stationery, so that we can get good quality, reasonably priced stationery, and that children can use and be long lasting.
I think to take home, reasonably priced, but much more important is the ability to vouch for these things, because sometimes you buy these things, you are not sure of the quality really. And then I asked about warranty if they come with it, but I think I have to open the line in case people want to reach us at the studio line, 070-923-923-923. And of course, you can even drop a message on WhatsApp, 081-7313 6193-071. I'll take him gently. 313-6193. So, ma'am, this school resumption is really here. And a lot of schools have this product already. A lot of them don't have resources now to get new one in light of the current economic reality. What will you advise about maintenance of this equipment when we get from SKLD?
Well, with everything, service, and whenever there's a, we need to have a maintenance culture, which schools normally do, because we find that most of them by this time they're probably renovating, painting, and doing all of that. So it's the same way they would have to, make sure that the equipment is in good working order and they are properly stored. Because sometimes if you don't store equipment properly, it gets damaged if it's exposed to damp and all of that. And that's why we are partnering with the OEM, so that there's an after-sales service, and if there's there's a direct line of communication, customer service line, where they can report if there's anything, and then we can find out how we're going to fix it as well.
I have two questions, and someone is saying they can't get the studio line, and if they want to contact, how can they reach out to SKLD? But I think we will not have to read that verbally. We will just play the jingle so that people will know how to contact, and when we come back we will take some final thoughts.
Hello Lagos, join us every Thursday right here on Inspiration 92.3 FM from 3:30 to 4 p.m. for Education Dialogue by Edugist. On Education Dialogue, we bring together policymakers, education leaders, and parents to discuss issues, explore solutions, and drive positive change. With Edugist, education has a voice.
Glad to have you back. The program has been Education Dialogue, reaching you from Inspiration 92.3 FM, and this is made possible by Skill Integrated Services. And today we have the honor of having the MD and founder live in person, not sending anybody right here in the studio. But like I said, this is made possible by Edugist. You can be part of this conversation online on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We are Edugist. But as we begin to take this home, let's talk about two things. The curriculum, the quality of it, how do we even embed some of these things?
Okay. Generally, what we've done over the years is this. Apart from the uniforms and every other thing that that the children wear to school and take to school with them. When if you look at when they are going to secondary school, there is this age-old book, Ugo Si Ugo, that people used to buy. So we make sure we buy, to prepare the children for exams. We make sure we stock all those things. Those who are on the IGCSE curriculum, there are some checkpoint exams that they take. We make sure we stock up all those books, because you see, learning resources is not just whatever the school provides. We are strong believers in the fact that parents also need to take part in buttressing some of this at home. So we sell, some of what we call the Learn at Home series, the bond assessment books, workbooks, all the verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, which parents can work with their children with at home. We also do a lot of books, because one of the things that seems to have gone down with all the iPad and all the game pads and all those things is the reading culture. So we make sure we have a lot of story books from a small child that is 2-3 to secondary school, to make sure that we provide it and parents can buy it for their children, to make sure that we improve the reading culture of our children. So we provide that so that it's easy for the parents to see. Then we have a lot of a lot of schools have extracurricular activities, because these days it's not just about academics, it's about sports, it's about team and work, it's about drama, so many other things. So we make sure we provide everything that they need for that, from sportswear to judo, taekwondo, and so many other things. And even keyboards, musical instruments, to encourage the children to develop other skills apart from academics.
Thank you, Mrs. Temilola. Good to have you on the show. Lagos, this is how much we can go on the Education Dialogue. The show returns same time next week. But in the meantime, follow us online everywhere. We're at Edugist. The recording of this show can be found on our YouTube channel and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This is the Education Dialogue. My name is Elvis Boniface. Let's connect online.